But when we talk about unemployment insurance, we talk about a $600 increase beyond what states are already providing on a weekly basis for the next 4 months. That doesn't mean much when you are facing the burden and the costs associated with, for example, your mortgage. Residential mortgages being top of mind, I imagine, for families all across not only this state but across the country. Over the course of the last few weeks, we've been sitting down with banks large and small, credit unions large and small throughout the state of California, and been in contact with national bank and CEOs around the United States. I personally have had conversations with the heads of JP Morgan, the head of US Bank, Wells Fargo, a number of other of our nation's largest institutions, in state banks like East West Bank here in the state of California. Some 200 state chartered banks and credit unions have committed to the state of California that they will provide forbearance on foreclosures and on mortgage payments. That is significant. But the nation's bank, we were encouraged to do the same. And I'm very pleased that Wells Fargo, US Bank, Citi, and JP Morgan Chase have all agreed to 90-day waiver of payments for those that have been impacted by COVID-19. And that's an important point to make. It is significant that we have some consistency. It's significant that we don't have a patchwork, one bank to another. That's what happened in 2008. Credit unions doing one thing, banks doing another, state banks doing something altogether different. So we wanted to engage our nation's largest banks and see if we would create some continuity, some consistency across their ranks. And 4 of the 5 largest institutions committed to just that 90-day. Unfortunately, Bank of America did not publicly commit to that. They just committed to 30 days. I hope they will reconsider and join those other banks that are willing to do the right thing by at least extending that commitment to their customers for 90 days. While the state of California doesn't have regulatory oversight of those banks, I'm sensitive to that, and I know that the banks certainly are sensitive to that. They are also recognizing the sensitivity to their customers, not just on the issue of being able to pay their mortgages and having a grace period for 90 days, but also on credit ratings. And that's also part of the broader commitment that we have secured by those nation's 4, those 5 largest, our nation's banks, and all of the state chartered banks and credit unions, counting 200 plus. And so I want to just compliment them for their willingness to engage us and our team, Ben Chita, Commissioner Alvarez, and others that have been working overtime to organize these principles and advance them. We're working on additional issues and get continuity and consistency on ATM fees, on overdraft charges as well, and we'll be announcing more details on that in the coming days. I also, though, recognize, while significant to have that continuity as it relates to residential mortgages, as a small business person, you're wondering, as a nonprofit leader, as a church leader, you're wondering what's in store in terms of next announcements, next steps for you. And know in real time, we are also working with those same institutions to socialize some continuity and some consistency to help you as well. So no, the job is not done. We're not naive, but we think this is a significant announcement. It's not just a release. It is a significant a framework to advance commitments that we have absolute certainty are real, based upon personal commitments that I received directly from the leaders of these companies, again, with the exception, unfortunately, of the Bank of America.